Folks, thanks for joining us on this Monday. Before we get into our IPA call, we want to talk to a couple of people at least that were in Utah last weekend or last week for a couple of days and got to spend time with our executives and our owners and just get a feel with what's going on with our amazing company. And I know Shelia Bycofski was out there and Brenda Carlton. There may be some others, but go ahead and lead us off there, Shelia.
Well, good morning, y'all. We've got a lot of people that just came off of this event and ready to roll this week. Our Michelle McKay and I had a group of people there, and then I know that Brenda's team with Julie and Tammy had a group the second day. We also had a dinner together with Darren and John, along with the corporate execs, us jointly together on Thursday night.
And Darren, by the way, folks, Darren Zobrist and John Wadsworth. She's speaking of the owners of the company there. Go ahead,
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ken. I think one of the things that was so amazing that everybody talked about, first of all, truly capturing the bigger vision of where this company is headed, being very sure and trusting the leadership of this company. And so I think the words authentic, I think of all the different things that people were talking about, how connected, how personable they are. But one of the fun things I'll tell you that happened while we were in our session on Thursday. So either Mark or Darren won, Mark Patterson, the marketing guy. His title is much more official than that. But anyway, one of them were presenting and they stopped because in comes Jen Reed with this tray and it had these little cups of different beverages or whatever to. And so what it was, they said, folks, we have to stop because this is a time sensitive thing. And they were taste testing a product, a new product. And so we're sitting in the room watching them take the moments, whatever it was, to trial this product for them to give their opinion. So Darren and John, Katie, Mark, different ones. And of course, that was kind of a really surreal moment. I said, you'll be able to say you were sitting in the room when XYZ product was being tested. So that was a really unique experience. And so I think, just for people to be able to see what the forecast is for this company, looking at the numbers and looking at the progress, but at the same time, you got the vision. But then after lunch, you have the opportunity for it to get personal about your business and how can we help you? And of course, the target right now, the focus is the road to senior officer. How many senior officers? And so then there was a time when we had a breakdown and we kind of broke off into little sessions or whatever. So it was people said to me, I said, so what do you think? Because I said, I'm not going to tell you to go to something just to spend your money. Was it worth it? And I said, absolutely, worth more than we could have imagined that it would be. So, Brenda, I'm sure Brenda's on. Brenda, you want
Go
to
ahead,
chime?
Brenda.
I am. And y'all, I'm still on that high because I can't believe that we have owners that are so real and touchable, for one thing. And so here's a for instance, getting to be there, hear their stories about them personally, where they came from, how they met their wives. I mean, all the way up to when Partner Co was birthed. And so one of the coolest things is to know that Darren and John are so real. They have been where we are. They have built this thing. Darren's story is a little bit different, but he is so geeked about being able to be part of this and touch us and talk to us and share with us his vision and what's inside of him. Now, here's how cool it was. Sheila and Michelle's team and some of my team were over at one hotel that's really within walking distance to corporate. Well, on Wednesday night, in walks Darren. He takes off his backpack, comes over to where we are, hops up on the pool table where everybody was kind of hanging out in the foyer gathering area of this hotel, and has about a 40-minute conversation with us, talking about real stuff, answering questions. Y'all, that was so personal, so intimate. I mean, where else could we do this? Anyway, that was what kicked off the day. That was amazing. But then going on into the room, and for me, I feel super blessed because the way things worked out, I got to double dip. I got invited, and Brent said, absolutely, you can come. I got to sit in on Sheila and Michelle's team. And then the next day, I got to sit in with our team. And so it was so special getting to hear this twice, because how do we learn things? By repetition. So it's the same, all the executives, our whole team poured into us. It was so personal. They showered us with gifts. I walked away, y'all, with about $600 worth of product that they just poured out on us. Gifts, and just having to have lunch with them, because 2 days I got to spend having lunch with them. But what was the most important thing to me was the new mission statement for
All right,
Carlton.
Brenda. And Brenda, I was going to say, I just sent that, Sarah. I sent that in you to text, so that you can share that in the chat. And then, yes, that, and then the 2 values that have been added. They've added 2 more. So go with that, Brenda.
So when I'm sitting there and they put on the screen the new mission statement that they just released this, and it is to power health and prosperity around the world. And my spirit leapt. Most of y'all know I'm a believing believer. And when that happened, immediately scripture popped in my mind, 3 John 2, and it says, beloved, above all, I wish that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. That's the mission statement of this company. So if you are in doubt, am I at the right place? I can promise you, you are, because these guys are on it. They are grounded. The foundation of this company is solid. And I tell you what, the other thing that happened at the very end was the affirmation of the Bill of Rights, that for somebody like me that has been in multiple companies, this Bill of Rights protects us. You have to know that. That is a serious deal. And so that, wow, gave me safety, protection. I know that I know that I know. And then the other thing is where we are as a company and where we're going, y'all. These guys are serious with their vision. They have already implemented a plan through 2026 for us to go. Like Sheila said, our mission, our goal this year by PX 25 in Dallas is to have 100 new senior officers. Now, the reason is because the paid as is $160,000 a year. And so the plan is in place. We are in the process of implementing that, teaching, training, mentoring, putting that in place to help all of you that want to go there accomplish that. It's huge. And so walking away from that, I know that I know that I know I'm in the right place. I have the tools in my hand, and I am surrounded by a team of people that are encouraging me, cheering me on to win. So I just encourage you, lock arms with somebody on your team, partner up, and let's do this thing, because where we're going with this company is so huge. We are changing the world because we've been blessed to have a global, international business. Please understand what you've got your hands on.
Thank you, Brenda and Sheila. And, I've said it so many times recently. I've been excited many times, never more certain of the future, folks. And that's what's so important to us right now. I'll never forget the first meeting I was in with Darren, Brenda, and Sheila. He made this statement. It'll stick with me forever. He said, I didn't come out of retirement and a life of leisure to build a mediocre company. And guys, he's put his money behind his mouth there. He's hiring the best in the world. In fact, there's another hire that you're going to be hearing about real soon. That's going to blow your mind. I can't tell you more about that. But guys, he's just doing it for the long-term future, a 50-year plan, a 100-year plan. We're excited about that. Thank you, ladies, for sharing that. And we're so fortunate and blessed to be where we are at this time in the company's future. Todd, go ahead, buddy.
Now, and we've got the owners scheduled. They're going to be coming up here in a couple of weeks on this call for you to meet each one individually. But anybody out there that's brand new, you're still trying to figure this whole industry out, partner co out, like this is a chance to rewrite your entire financial future. And, when people ask me, why are you working so hard? I'm like, why are you not? Like why can't you see what I see? Like, how many times in our lifetime do you get a 3-year window to go create financial independence for your family? That doesn't come around that often, guys. I've been around for a long time in this industry, and to find a company that's going to be long-term, that's in the startup phase, it's really hard to find. And I will just tell you, take advantage of it for your future, because if you don't, you're going to look back in a lot of regret.